Alright, hello everyone. My name is Constantine Narce Jr. and this video will be kind of an intro video to our setup for the project. And besides it being just a setup for our Colorstack website project for the Colorstack chapter at Kennesaw State University, it will also be some good learning tips for you as an aspiring programmer and also good for putting on your resume, basically. Um, so most of the technologies we're going to talk about are just IDEs, which are environments for coding, GitHub, and we're going to look at a few languages. This specific video, though, we'll be looking basically at how to just set up Visual Studio Code and also set up Git on your computer. I'm going to try and break it down. I'll have an intro video that will give an overview of our project. So this is just our first video, so I'm giving like so much intro to this. So as you can see on my screen, this is the GitHub for Colorstack, but we're not gonna get there yet. We're gonna first of all install our IDE. I recommend we all use Visual Studio Code. If there's any other IDE that you're comfortable setting up and using for React development or framework development, please go ahead and use it. But this is for students that are new to this. So if you want to set up Visual Studio Code, so this is for both Mac and Windows. This specific video does not cater to Linux, so if you're Linux, it might be similar to this, but you probably have to do some figuring out if I skip a step for your operating system. So anyway, yeah, so you just look up Visual Studio, should come up. You shouldn't get like a fake one. Obviously, there is download for Windows, which I'm using. If you click on download here, it should give you the options. If you're a Windows, you want to click on this button, which is Windows 10, 11. If you are Mac, you would click on this as well. Really simple, really straightforward. With Linux, it will return on your specific operating system. Obviously, we have Debian and Ubuntu. I'm not really going to cover that, but based off what you're using, you can download that. That should be also self-explanatory. So once you do download it, it's going to come up. It will open. So I'm going to open a new window here real quick to show you what it looks like. I have two screens, so bear with me for a second. Yeah, so it looked like this, almost like this. So one thing you're gonna realize is that once you download this and install your Visual Studio, it will look something like this. But there'll be a few things missing, such as this specifically, which is the clone Git repository. This is because this integrates with your IDE once you set up Git. Git is a software. I will kind of emphasize this, which was emphasized recently at a workshop I went to by our general secretary Denise. That Git is not the same as GitHub. Git is not the same as GitLab. They all fall from one company, correct? But Git is a software, and GitHub and GitLab are tools used or integrated with that software. So after you download the Visual Studio Code, you would need to install Git also. Um, so with Git, once again, you can just look up the word Git, not GitHub, not GitLab, just Git. You could also add the word download to be more specific, but if you do look up Git, you would also find it. So Git download, and it'll give you the option for your IDE. Once again, Windows being here, so you click on Windows. You're gonna probably go for. You can check on your computer, but most Windows are 64-bit Git, so probably not 32. So if it's like a smaller computer or laptop you're using, probably 32. But for a standard Windows laptop, will be 64. You just download that. You want to download the installer, not the thumb drive edition. You'd have to do a lot of extraction. Just yeah, you'd use this link to download it. For Mac, you could use two things. I was actually talking to a friend about this. You can actually install it without Homebrew, but the only reason I recommend Homebrew is because Homebrew kind of helps you install things easier because you're not. I'm gonna assume that as a programmer, you're not gonna be just setting up this. In the future, I might have to set up something else. There is a way to set up Git without using Homebrew, but um, I'm not. This not. This not. That's not what this video is about. So we would just click on Homebrew, and you would just open your command line in Apple. Obviously, I'm using a Windows. I can't force show you, unfortunately. Um, there will be times in general on our Discord channel, and I'll put all these in the link in the description for our, actually, first of all, for our GitHub, for Visual Studio, for all these links. I'll put them in our description. But mainly, any of these struggles or roadblocks you may have, you can reach out to me specifically, or text on the Discord channel or the group me, and we can get back to you. But with this, you would first of all just copy the link here um, into your command prompt. I mean, command line for Mac. I don't know what it looks like, but it will look. I do know what it looks like. It looks something like this, but probably cooler because it's Mac. Mac's UI is relatively better in my opinion. But it would look something like this, and you would just paste it and run it, and it will install Homebrew. Once you have that installed, oh, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. Then you would call this command. So it looks something like this. I'm going to actually show you with my Windows to get a good example. So you copy this. You would basically open your command prompt for a Mac, and it will look like this. And you would just paste this and enter, right? I'm not going to press enter because it's going to give me errors because I can't use this on Windows. And then after that, once you press enter, all you need to do is go back and copy this command. And then, yeah, so just copy this and go back to the console. And you will just paste this and run it, and it should install Git for you. And once you install it, this is where most of you get confused. I opened it for you, or you might open it. Please, it might not update automatically. You might not see this after you install, so just close Visual Studio and open it again, and you should see the changes once you. And if you don't, once again, you can reach out to me with any questions you have about it. But yeah, it will look something like this now. And so finally, for the second most important part of this video specifically, is cloning, right? So cloning, the concept is basically you getting a repository that's online onto your local, and it's being connected by Git. So basically, I'm gonna minimize this for now since we're done with that. But once again, we have repositories in GitHub. So repositories in GitHub are basically folders, like online folders, right? You don't have to like go on your computer and look for something. You can keep it online, and you can give access to multiple people. So that's a repository. So our repository that we're working on currently for our project is beta site. Once again, the link will be in the description for this video. And so basically what you want to do is that if you're gonna clone this repository, you can do two things. You can do this, which is kind of like, I guess some people see this cool. You just copy the link and you're gonna use that link for the cloning, or you can use either the HTTPS, which is similar to this. It's literally the same thing. They all work the same way. Same as the SSH, which you would copy here also. I believe SSH is no, it's supposed to be more secure, but it's not as secure as people think it is. That's all I know. If you're gonna ask me what's the difference between SSH and HTTPS cloning, there is a difference, but it's not dramatic, I would say. And you can also use the command line where you have to install GitHub Dex. So if you want a video about this, give us, let's get to like 100 likes, and I'll make a video just about using GitHub Desktop or just using GitHub Desktop in general because it helps with a lot of stuff when you're not using the command line or the terminal. Sorry, the terminal. If you get 100 likes, I'll make a video on that. But if you don't, then yeah, you just have to use this. But as I said, it's not really hard. So you just copy either of these. I'll copy this, for example, and the next thing you would do is basically go back to your Visual Studio, um, and you click on this button which says Clone Git Repository. Once you click on it, this will pop up and it'll say provide repository URL or pick a repository source. So all you have to do here once you're done is to paste any of the three links I showed you, which is either from the URL bar or from the the code button, where you can copy either the HTTPS link or the um, SSH link. So here, once you're done, you click clone from GitHub, right? And yeah, so you just click this. And here now you're supposed to select the destination for your repository. So as I said, it's a folder, right? So you need to store it somewhere on your computer. Obviously, you can store it into documents here and just select as repository destination. But once again, speaking in the concept where you might not, obviously, I know people watching this video are not all software engineers or CS majors. or game design. You might just have an interest in coding. But either way, it's good to be organized. So you want to make a folder like I have here called GitHub and store all your GitHub repositories there. So if you look at mine, I have multiple repositories. Some of them are obsolete. I don't use them. Some of them I did use them. Some of them I'm still using them. And basically you would paste. Right now, I already have mine cloned here. As I said, beta site, but I'll just for example's sake, I'll do mine in one called my website, and this will my. You can also make a folder and name it whatever. But I'd recommend making a folder called GitHub and pasting it in there. So and selecting that as repository destination. So I'll select this as my repository destination. This is where it will store the repository on my device or on your device as beta site. So let's see, select that. So it's cloning, and it's like to open the clone repository. So you can open it in this window or a new window. For the sake of space, I'll just open it on this window. So open, and there we have it. And so now if you're looking for, you can just say, yes, I trust the authors. But um, if you're looking for where it is in your program on your computer, you would basically go to where you stored it, right? You go to documents. For us, we open documents. We go to my website, and ta-da, there we have it. It's right there, beta site, and it has the same files you see right here in your IDE. Yep, so you can go through that and find all the code you need.